Good morning, Paul and Bhargav. It's Wednesday, the 14th of June. Here's the heads up brief for today. For the Southeast Asia production, we covered 18 issues. In North Asia, we covered 6, and for Australasia and the Pacific Islands, we covered 7. In South Asia, we covered 14 issues, plus the major issues in Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
Okay, great. Hi, Bhargav. Hi, Uday. Go ahead.
Right. In Papua New Guinea, at least 10 people were killed and several houses were destroyed over the past few days due to ongoing tribal fighting in a rural area of Angkor province. At least 500 members of 2 tribes are apparently involved in the violence, although now members of other tribes have also been found to be involved.
Okay, excellent. And if there's any more information on that sort of hostage/kidnap taking yesterday where they got released and it was allegedly the same group that took the professor, I want to be updated on that when any more info comes to hand. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, definitely, Paul. We'll keep an eye on that. Also in Papua New Guinea, the Bougainville Affairs Minister announced that the results of the referendum will be presented to Parliament by the end of the year, where it will be tabled and discussed.
Okay, it's very interesting how prolonged that whole process of getting to the point of referendum and then announcing results are. So we need to look at that with 2 very wide open eyes as to what the reasons are for all these delays. Okay, thank you.
All right. In Indonesia, the Constitutional Court in Jakarta tomorrow will give a verdict on the country's voting system. This comes after the Indonesian Democratic Party of Struggle, led by Megawati, has pushed for a change to a closed list proportional system that is different from the current open list proportional system. Under a closed list proportional system, people will not vote for candidates, they'll only be able to vote for parties.
Okay, excellent. And let's hope it's a punch in the face for the PDI and Megawati, because we always know that other than using the name democracy, there's absolutely nothing democratic about her. The party does have some democratic values, but it's like having a democratic party led by Putin. Thank you.
And in Thailand, a senator stated that the ongoing rift between the Move Forward Party supporters and supporters of the conservative and traditional government could turn violent if the Move Forward Party leader fails to become prime minister. At this point, all the focus is over his holding of shares in a media company and whether he and his party will be disqualified.
Yep, so it's interesting that the momentum of actually talking about demonstrations and violences is starting to ramp up to send signals. I'm not sure the old guard's too concerned about that. They're more concerned about ensuring status quo of who controls power moves forward. I think everyone should know that it's precarious times ahead. Thank you.
Right. Moving over to South Asia, in Bangladesh, the Islami Andolan Bangladesh, a large Islamist political party, will hold nationwide demonstrations on the 16th of June. This is to protest against an attack on its mayoral candidate during the recent local body elections in Barisal. They're also demanding that a caretaker government come in to hold the general elections, after saying that the Awami League ruling party has been responsible for the election-related violence.
Yes, this doesn't come as a surprise. I expect more of the protests and political violence to unfold as the elections come closer. And the caretaker government demand by the opposition parties have been going on for the last year or so. I do not think Sheikh Hasina will relent to that. And this being a far-right Islamist party, they do have ability to mobilize people on the ground, along with Jamaat-e-Islami, one other Islamist group. It is important to note that popularity of such groups may actually threaten balance at the national level. The Awami League, the incumbent party in power, despite using hard tactics or strong arm tactics at the ground level, they're considered to be relatively secular and centrist. So ensuring a growth rate of nearly 6% overall in terms of economic growth in the last 10 years or so. So we'll have to see how this unfolds towards the elections next year.
Right, we'll keep an eye on it. And in Pakistan, members of several political parties, including the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, have defected to the Pakistan People's Party.
All right. So the political shift or the defection of members of either of these parties will go on until the elections. I'm not really surprised with such developments. And we have already seen that a group of leaders from the opposition party have already fled to the ruling parties. So such defections will be expected before the elections.
Yeah. And lastly, in Europe, the Russian Federal Security Service announced that it had arrested a group of former defense industry workers who were spying on behalf of Ukraine. The Federal Security Service said that the group is suspected of supplying Ukraine with military information, which has been used to help plan sabotage attacks. They handed over technical documents and models used in the manufacture of weapon systems and equipment of Russia's Air Force.
That's interesting. Thank you. Nothing further from my end there.
Thanks, Uday.
That's great for today. Anything else?
Nothing else from my end. Thank you.